Right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to be here today. I want to give a big thank you to the Dave Security for all their efforts and help on putting this lovely conference, both hybrid and in person. So those joining me on the virtual web, thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm planning on sharing a little bit of research that I've been brewing on, and in the meantime, on the chat or however we're connecting on this virtual space, I'd love for you to share who you are, where you're signing in from, and then a few fun facts about yourself you'd like to share. Moving over to a little bit about me, I've been in the cybersecurity space for about 12 years. I do come from more traditional backgrounds with my 2 degrees. When I started, there was only IT and computer science, and it wasn't until like you got your master's that you would see any specialization in cybersecurity. Currently, I'm at Microsoft doing open source and AI security research. I started there about a little over a month ago. I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach and instructor. I've been training for the last 6 years. Recently got my purple belt, which I'm very excited about. And here today to talk to you about the Lioness Instincts. I am the executive director and co-founder. And some fun facts about me. I am an international speaker speaking on cybersecurity and open source, spoken at Vancouver, Canada, Spain, Denmark. I do have an extremely large collection of Legos, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do with them in my house. And as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner who likes grounds and a Pisces zodiac sign, I love the grounds. And earlier this year, I learned that sky activities are not for me. So you would see me crying up there. All right, so the Lioness Instincts. We are here to empower women to protect themselves in our physical and digital worlds. We've been physically sponsored by Hack Club Bank back in January of this year, and our mission is to give women in shelters their power back, both physically and professionally, through various programs such as self-defense training, online privacy and security, and providing educational resources to thrive in the cyber tech industry. We currently host local South Florida, Fort Lauderdale self-defense classes that are open to the community. We also host private and group events and open to travel to different locations. We've done workshops in California and looking to do workshops this year in Philadelphia and Austin, Texas. And then we are currently strategizing our roadmap and working to launch our data privacy programs. So the approach I'm going to share can be taken and tweaked for anybody. I've just especially designed this approach for my audience, which is the biological woman. So for simplicity purposes, I will limit pronouns to she and her in today's talk. So to start off everything, I was really intrigued by the timeline of the Russia-Ukraine situation that happened a few years back, and it's just more from a cybersecurity professional and conspiracy theorist, I guess. Cyber attacks happened before the initial physical invasion. Russia had brought down infrastructure from communication, satellites, and such, and they were essentially messing with them in the cyberspace, so they would become quote unquote distracted or just have it a lot difficult for them to get the information they needed on time before the physical attacks happened. In the US, we're seeing our own disturbance from issues with the colonial pipelines back in 2021 to recently AT&T being offline for a few hours, social media being down just within the last 2 months, I'm going to say. Time has gone by too quickly. LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook have all had their issues. So the news is very saturated with many cyber attacks, and large organizations are also getting targeted for their customers, their clients, or even specific individuals. So whether or not the conspiracies are true, nation states are gathering intelligence. They are planning sophisticated and complicated attacks against us. And currently, our war is being fought in both the physical and digital space right now. Here's a few numbers that just make me cringe a bit. There are so many statistics out there about the number of attacks and the cost of cybersecurity, but it's honestly just outrageous. Overall, in our cybersecurity space, we've seen an increased attacks on the latest and greatest with these AI models. We have ransomware making a comeback, DDoS, web hacking, and they just increase the cost of cybersecurity for organizations. We've also seen a number of sophisticated attacks through our open source software ecosystem. that all draw a line between security best practices, identity, identity verification, and its own form of insider threat within open source, which is a little interesting because it's all public form. The cost and impact of each cyber attack is just getting outrageous and bigger every time we do statistics. And it's becoming a very difficult as a security researcher. As a security researcher, it's become very difficult to perform enough research on a threat without having to deprioritize for the next latest and greatest attack. With all this, I'm so upset about the cost of milk and eggs going up in the last couple of years, but we'll move on to the market of cybersecurity. And that bar, honestly, is just way too high to enter. I've worked with and spoke with so many folks that have just had so many issues just trying to break in and transition into cyber. While statistically, we're seeing that the cost of cybersecurity defense, post-mortem, they've all increased. There also has been an increased desire to hire and fill these security roles. I mean, all of you are here today are either in or interested in transitioning. Interesting enough, research does not specifically state that security roles have been unaffected by the layoffs between 2022 and this year. We are still seeing like a large gap in number of roles and qualified candidates. And this could just be for multiple reasons, including like a company's desire to find that purple orange unicorn. We've also seen an increase of fake jobs and scams that are playing a major role at this time, with folks unsure of which ones to apply to. This seems too good to be true kind of scenarios, and I'm sure folks here have felt that. But good news is if you're interested in the security space within the tech companies, it's a little reassuring to know that despite the broad industry layoffs, due to the critical nature of security work, you may be shielded from it. However, it is not layoff proof. So I'm just going to give that warning. Moving over to the lioness, together we can awaken the endowment spirit in all of us, honestly. And with our mission to empower women to protect themselves in our physical and digital worlds, this is what we're aiming to do. And in the chat, or yourself, I want to know who would like to awaken their own endowment spirit. Click on that emoji that best reflects. I know there's like reactions. Here, we're a nonprofit aiming to teach personal protection, self-defense through the practices of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, data privacy, and career development targeting the cyber tech industry. We're looking to partner with more organizations to help more women in shelters, give them mental health capabilities, job hunting, recruitment, and that financial health education that they need. We're also looking to partner with other organizations that offer services in other various self-defense trainings that we are not subject matter experts in, such as weapon, emergency, and medical. So I just want to take a moment and read to you a section from a research paper that I've been reading recently called Recovery, Resilience and Growth in the Aftermath of Domestic Violence. Practically every aspect of a domestic abuser survivor's life is altered in the aftermath of domestic violence. Leaving an abusive relationship involves transitioning from being controlled to being in control, while coping with the costs of a domestic life filled with fear, terror, and devastation. One's energy shifts from survival mode to starting a new life. We have many folks that are immigrating over from other countries and economical issues. We have women in underrepresented communities. We have women in shelters who have gone through and are being labeled as domestic abuser survivors. They've left their homes, many with their children, just no place to go. A lot of these shelters are overpacked and filled with folks that just have no place to go. And they just have to leave everything behind that they knew and just start right over. Now, one of my favorite words, and if you follow me, you'll see this a lot, is resiliency. It's not an easy battle, but here at the Lioness Instincts, we're here to armor them and prepare them for battle. Cybersecurity and defending our cyberfunks requires a great deal of resiliency, and you'll see this word used very often in a way a company will talk about how resilient they are to a cyber attack or in the aftermath. You'll also see this as someone might question or doubt a sports superstar after they've hit a major roadblock in their life or career. You know, for me, being in South Florida, I always ask how resilient are the Miami Dolphins from coming back and getting into the Super Bowl. A study conducted by Humphreys in 2003, he had studied resiliency and its relationship to psychological disorder, and he noted that resiliency was a positive personality characteristic that enhanced an individual's adaptation, so the ability for them to adapt. Recently, more research has come out and expanded resiliency into three areas: a complex interaction among individual attributes, family, and their social interactions. Now, one of the major things is getting out of the cycle of domestic violence and entering into opportunities that they have, right? So we've seen a significant number of women return to shelters multiple times. Studies do show that 30% of women re-enter shelters within a year. And this pattern just shows that there's ongoing issues in one finding stable homes and escaping these cycles of abuse. Research also indicate that the majority of homeless families, so these are mothers with a set of kids, they use their shelters for a brief period, and about 20% stay for longevities. And a lot of them cycle through in and out of these shelters, multiple different shelters repeatedly. 87% of these homeless mothers also maintain custody of their children, so their children are also facing the significance of their environments, and it's impacting their development and behavioral challenges. So we're looking to create this community, a community where women that could come out of these cycles and say, I made it, and now I have a community to support me. It's a way for resiliency through the community, being able to have that, was it congested? Not congestion, that's nose. That your energy bounces off my energy, and being able to collaborate and share your resources and be there for one another. There's been so many great communities that I've connected with over the years that have been a major moving stone in my own experience and beyond. We also have the fact that they can be reborn into cybersecurity professionals. They can return home, protect their families, provide for the families, be able to give to the communities and the next generations, and allow them to increase the overall posture of the U.S.'s security posture by being more professionals, filling these gaps, filling these roles, or even volunteering in our open source ecosystem and having those conversations and being a part of it, getting more folks in the rooms with diversity, different areas of thoughts, different backgrounds and cultures to make a difference on how we're doing this. So I do want to close this out with a reading, and it's an epic poem that I did not come up with, but and essentially we're here to create lionesses. We're here to give women back the opportunities to protect themselves, protect their families in our physical and digital worlds, be financially secure, and be able to keep their families and break out of these cycles. So, reading the poem, in the shadows stung, where love turned code, lived Amara with a heart of gold. A husband's charm, a whispered vow, yet darkness lurked beneath the brow. His touch, once light, a bruising hand, his smile, a mask on shifting sand. Her spirit dimmed, her laughter waned, with every blow her hopes remained. In shattered home, with love turned cold, Amara wept, her spirit sold. Each whispered vow, a cruel descent, her children's eye, reflecting defeat. For children's eyes too pure to see, their monster cloaked in chivalry. One shattered night, with courage born, she fled the storm, a heart half torn. A shelter's wall, a haven flare, where broken dreams in whispers trail. In the dark, where shadows crept, a golden glaze, a promise kept. A lioness, with eyes ablaze, a silent guardian in a maze. She spoke no words, yet wisdom flown, a strength awakened, long bestowed. The lioness taught with silence might to shield her cubs and her rightful place, to stand her ground with muscles horns, a warrior spirit newly owns. By day, with screens, a cryptic dance, the lioness led by silent chance. Amara learned, with minor lights, to pierce the code and claim her might. The world unseen, a digital fight, where fire walls stood, bathed in moonlight. She built her fort with lines of code, a fortress strong, on which she rode. Clients sought, her skills were known, a phoenix rising, a battleground. Financial chains, at last unbound, a bright future where hope was found. A lioness, a lioness, a fleeting dream, yet in her heart her spirit gleams. Amara strong, a mother true, rebuilt her life in shadows of blue. No longer trapped in shadows deep, she soared above where victories sleep. An epic tale of scars and grace, a woman's rise, a hardened case. For those who fight with silent might, may they find strength in the darkest night, and know within a warrior's flame can rise from ash and write their name. So I do want to thank everyone for coming. Here are just a quick few slides about us. We are a nonprofit. We're here to empower, protect, transform, and looking for those to help us join our mission. Here, all donations help support the programs that we're growing. $5 a day could put 2 women through a self-defense training, and this is comparable to a cup of coffee, a gallon of milk, or a dozen of eggs. Your donations will help drive our mission further and get resources to these women quicker. And our vision is to provide training, build out courses, and provide educational licensing and courses for these certifications, and so much more. We are also looking for volunteers. We're looking for volunteers to help us with social media, some of our documentation, and our data privacy program, help build that out. We're also looking for sponsors, those that can assist us with educational training, educational license, career training, educational license, and financial help support for these women. If you'd like to help us in any of these, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, on my personal, or on the Lioness Instincts. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. You can check us out on our site, and we do have a store where we sell some merchandise. All proceeds go to our donations and our missions to grow out these programs. For today, we also have career services. Welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn before. All the career services that are offered, the proceeds do go to the Lioness Instincts, but we're here to help you with job hunting, career consulting, and the works. So for anybody that is interested in public speaking, I do want to note on a platform, whether it's your first time or you're looking to speak more, there's a platform called Innovation Women that I am a part of. You can check out the register link and sign up. It's about $120 a year. There may be coupons or promotions. Reach out to me and let me know. But it allows you to search for events that are coming up, apply to them, connect with event managers, and you get your own public profile. Keeps all your talks and information, and you can check out mine there. And with that, I want to thank you for making our physical and digital world safer. Now, let's awaken the endowment spirit in all of us. And if anybody has any questions, I think we have about 5 minutes left. If not, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook through the Lioness, or you can find me on LinkedIn under myself, Yesenia said.